We have breaking news. New court documents reveal that singer David is officially a murder suspect, and there is a criminal case being pursued against him.
Listen, I feel like the only people, before we get into this, I feel like the only people who didn't know that dude was guilty was the police. Alright, everybody say Buddy did it from the beginning. Alright, so that's just what it is, but let's get into it.
With the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And, unfortunately, these documents also reveal apparent new and disturbing details about her dismembered body. Welcome to Sidebar.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I'm Jesse Weber. Big update in the continuing case of the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found in the trunk of a car allegedly registered to singer David back in September out in LA. We have been following this case religiously. There have been no arrests. There have been no charges. Well, there have been arrests, but not in connection with the actual, let's say, killing of Celeste or the removal of her body. There was an arrest in terms of somebody being brought there to testify.
Man, that boy been guilty
You've heard
since day
reports of a
one.
grand jury being impaneled. You've heard reports of David being considered a suspect, but nothing official. There has been so much that authorities haven't been revealing about this investigation. But right now, Steve Fisher, the private investigator who had been investigating this case on the ground, demanding justice, who may have testified in front of the grand jury himself, by the way, although we can't officially confirm that. And by the way, he represents the owner of the house where David was reportedly staying near where the Tesla was found. He just dropped not only huge bombshells about this case on X, but he just gave us 150 pages of court filings that have revealed a lot of new information. We have learned more about Celeste's body, and we have learned...
David, you're done, buddy. You've been done, but I don't know what took the police so long to arrest this man. I really don't know why it took so long, but you know, sometimes justice isn't swift. Sometimes it takes a little time for justice to get adjusted. You get what I'm saying? Adjusted to justice. And that's what happened in this situation. It's crazy.
That there is a real case against David for murder. So let me lay out first what he posted on X, and then we'll discuss the actual filings. First, Steve wrote, in a petition for attendance to compel David family members to appear before a grand jury, it's disclosed that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's head and torso were found in a cadaver bag, her severed arms and legs in a second bag. David Burke, meaning David, is the target of the grand jury for one count of murder. And when you read from the screenshots that he posted, and we'll talk about this more from the actual filing, people of the state of California v. David Burke. Nathan Hochman at the top, so that's the LA County District Attorney. Beth Silverman is the Assistant DA. We've mentioned her too, so this is confirming there is a real case. They are the prosecutors, including her. Saw her coming in and out of court before. And then the filing states that there is now pending in the Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles the above entitled grand jury investigation by the state of California against target David Burke, wherein target may be involved in having committed the following criminal offenses against the laws of the state of California, to wit, one count of murder. This is big. This is big because it was always a question of whether or not they were really investigating him and gathering evidence regarding a murder charge. And when I looked it up, when I looked up that penal code under California law, murder is the unlawful killing of a human being or a fetus with malice aforethought. Basically an intentional killing. So while there were theories out there that, let's say, Celeste had died as an accident. Let's say Celeste died from a drug overdose and there was a panic and there was just an instance of trying to dismember her body or dispose of her body or hide her body. Remember at one point we heard from authorities maybe there was nothing beyond just the removal of her body.
His dumb ass messed up when he started chilling with a 13-year-old girl. Dude, you're a grown-ass man. Grown man, by the way. You understand what I'm saying? Why are you chilling with underage girls?
Bruh.
Come on, man. It don't even make sense.
Maybe that was the only charge. Not the case. Now they believe they have enough evidence to support a murder charge that he intentionally killed her. And then it goes on to say how you have the three witnesses summoned by California are DeWood, Colleen, and Caleb Burke. So his dad, his mom, and his younger adult-aged brother. And the information that's attached to Steve Fisher's tweet is in reference to DeWood Burke's court paperwork, and it says, quote, that if DeWood Burke comes into the state of California in obedience to a summons directing him to attend and testify at said grand jury investigation, the laws of the state of California and of any other state through which he may be required to pass by the ordinary course of travel to attend such proceeding shall give him protection from arrest and the service of process, civil or criminal, in connection with matters which arose before his entrance into said state pursuant to such summons, that DeWood Burke is an adult, that the prosecution will provide the witness a round-trip airplane ticket and transportation to and from the airport, wherefore it is requested for on behalf of the state of California that your honor certify to the above and foregoing by the issuance of a certificate thereto under the seal of the Superior Court of Record in the state of California to compel the attendance of DeWood Burke as a witness at the grand jury investigation on the date and time set forth pursuant to law. Basically, outlining that he is needed to be a witness in this case.
100%.
And
so if y'all ain't get all that jargon, he basically said, hey, we need Buddy to come out to, to be a witness, to testify about what's going on in his case. We gonna pay for his airfare and all that good stuff like that for him to come out here, all that good stuff. But we need Buddy here. You get what I'm saying? That's pretty much what they're saying.
That if he follows it and he shows up, he's not going to be arrested and charged.
And
Got this other post from Steve. Quote, court transcripts show that detectives from the LAPD Robbery Homicide Division were in Texas to escort David's parents to Los Angeles to testify about what they know about the suspicion that their son murdered and dismembered a 14-year-old girl. #monster, #Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And Steve also posted a portion of the transcript for me. Texas court, where attorneys for the Burkes were arguing that their clients wanted to make sure that everything was in order and they knew about everything before they went to Los Angeles. And we're going to talk about this more, but that part of the transcript reads, and again, LAPD detectives are here to make sure they get a flight, they get a hotel, they get room and lodging, that it will not cause undue hardship to them, and that the court issue those subpoenas on behalf of California. And then the judge says, okay, Mr. Martinez, yes, Your Honor, if I may just take a step back and advise the court of what we actually received this afternoon. Okay, we received from the state at the request of the state of California a subpoena for Colleen and DeWood Burke, a certification from a judge in California where it states that there is an affidavit attached from the Assistant District Attorney of Los Angeles, and we have the attestation from the clerk, and we have an affidavit from an Assistant District Attorney in Los Angeles, but it has been redacted. Now, I'm going to get more into exactly why this is significant in just a second. And by the way, as we think about them testifying, what would they testify? We'll talk about that too. But also, would they plead the fifth? Right? Something to think about. Here's another post from
incriminate
Steve.
yourself.
A Waller County, Texas court compelled David's parents and brother to travel to Los Angeles to appear before the grand jury on February 11th, 2026. That decision was appealed, and a writ of habeas corpus was then filed on February 3rd, which was denied. It appears they have appeared before the judge, most likely invoking the fifth, but that is speculation on my part, Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So see, he thinks the same thing I do. And that tweet included part of a court document which reads, the court ordered Mr. Burke to appear before the California grand jury on February 11, 2026. A writ of habeas corpus was filed on February 3rd. The writ challenged the ex parte nature of the proceeding, meaning one-sided, deprivation of due process, incorrect application of Article 24.28, and incorrect finding that Mr. Burke's testimony was material and necessary. The court denied the writ on the merits. Again, we're going to talk all about that. But to cap off these bombshell revelations about the David case, Steve actually shared more than 150 pages from Texas courts laying out what happened. And with that file came a long statement from this private investigator.
I can't believe the sleep apnea pillow exists, so I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life. I got this
Quote, Celeste Rivas Hernandez deserves better. It's infuriating that we're approaching 6 months and no charges have been filed in her murder. If the evidence hasn't been secured by now, what exactly is happening? Is this a blown investigation? We now know these monsters sawed off Celeste's arms and legs. Let's not call it dismemberment. That word sounds clinical, like a surgeon removed her limbs. This is not what happened. A vicious, sick group of people brutally hacked her arms and legs off her body. Was she alive when they started? And yes, I am using plural terms because in my professional opinion, there is no way one person did this alone, whether participating directly or acting as an accessory. Yet only one individual is named as a target in the court filings. Like you, Neo Christopher Langston, you knew. I've seen family members publicly defend him and threaten lawsuits against anyone who names him. Sue me, I beg you, please sue me. Give me subpoena power. Give me the power of discovery, because that may be the only way the truth comes out. I beg of you, file that defamation suit. How do people like David, Neo, and Asia live with themselves? 6 months, no charges, no press conference, but LAPD and the district attorney's office did issue a press release.
Yo, this dude came out and said absolutely nothing. I think he put one statement out. I'm not even sure if he did, but as far as I can remember, or as far as I know, Buddy never came out and say, hey, I am not guilty of these crimes that they're accusing me of. Bro did not try to denounce it in any way, shape, or form. The only thing he did was say more dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? Or do more dumb shit. Put a picture up of of him cleaning shoes after it was blood found on her shoes. He's cleaning shoes. Talking about some I love clean shoes. Some weird stuff, bro. Weird stuff this guy just been doing. So, man, he guilty, dog. I don't care, bro. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes, I believe he's guilty. I ain't gonna say he's guilty because I don't want them to try to, I believe that he's guilty. There's nothing saying that he's guilty, but I believe he's guilty because, dude, who does the stuff that he's been doing? And how a girl get found in your trunk, and we're talking about a Tesla. We're not talking about a 98 Maxima. We ain't talking about a goddamn 2000 Altima. We talking about a brand new Tesla. There was a body found in your brand new Tesla, and you don't know about it? Come on, dog. Come on. What are you talking? That's equivalent to somebody being in your bed and you don't know about it. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you don't know this person was stuck in the trunk of your Tesla? Come on, dog. So, yeah.
Stating they had the medical examiner's autopsy and investigative findings sealed so detectives could review them first, claiming it was not meant to undermine transparency. They got that information, yet the records remain sealed. That press release misled the public. That press release was a lie. Another press release suggested the only potential criminal culpability might be concealment of a body. Talked about that before. They said that knowing Celeste's arms and legs had been sawed off. You came out with that press release knowing what had been done to her? If they do not have enough evidence to charge those responsible, then they need to say that plainly. Admit that after nearly 6 months, the investigation has not produced sufficient evidence to charge David Anthony Burke or anyone else who participated or was an accessory. Admit it's a blown investigation. Admit that important evidence was left behind after the search warrant. Admit that critical surveillance was lost because nobody followed up to obtain it. Celeste's head and torso were placed in one cadaver bag. Her arms and legs were placed in another. Someone purchased cadaver bag, cut her apart, placed her remains inside those bags, put her in the trunk of a Tesla, and went on with their lives. They purchased cadaver bags. They went to the extent of purchasing cadaver bags, and still, 6 months later, there are no charges, no accountability, silence, sealed records. Threaten me with contempt all you want. I will proudly take that contempt charge for the pursuit of justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. 6 months is enough. Do your sworn duty or admit the case was failed. We need to let the LAPD and the DA's office know we are mad and this is not acceptable, and I wish her family would do the same. Here is the full 151-page court filing for anyone willing to read it. David Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Well, I'll tell you, we read through it and we're going to go through it, but obviously, he's upset, understandably so.
Definitely
and
upset.
while we do not know what is going on behind the scenes and whether or not they are about to issue an indictment and whether or not anyone's about to be arrested, you can understand his frustration and how long this is going on. And if it seems that it's just David, they may be going after. But I want to go through these court documents, try to make sense of what we're seeing. So, first, we have this petition on behalf of DeWood Burke. Again, this is David's father. We've talked about this before. It's an unusual filing. It's a habeas petition. Usually you see habeas petitions when someone's already been convicted, they're in prison, they're trying to say that their detention's unlawful, that there's new evidence that's come out, they're trying to get their conviction thrown out, a new trial. So this one's a little different. But basically the argument is, they're saying that the family members' rights are being violated, to have to testify, to be compelled, to be transported to another state to provide testimony. And this was filed out in Waller County, Texas. Texas. There was an order from January 18th for Colleen Burke, the mother here, to appear before the Texas court to explain why she shouldn't have to appear before the grand jury in LA, why she shouldn't have to comply with the subpoena. You go to page 13, I want to bring your attention to this actual subpoena that was issued to DeWood Burke from Nathan Hochman, signed by Beth Silverman, ordering DeWood to appear before the grand jury in LA on February 11th. So you're not even just seeing Steve's interpretation of the filings. You're actually seeing it.
You're seeing
these are actual court documents. And in this subpoena, it is explained to DeWood that the grand jury is secret. Don't tell anyone about this, other than your attorney. Page 15, there's a court document. It's from Judge Craig Richmond, judge of the Superior Court in LA, certifying there is a grand jury proceeding in the case of David Burke. Beth Silverman is requesting DeWood to appear and provide material and necessary testimony. What could that be? Well, we don't know exactly for sure, though. Get a little bit
exactly
more
what
into it.
that means.
Maybe it's just the family
They
saying,
need
yeah,
Buddy to come
that
through.
was his Tesla. It was registered to him. But again, going back, that DeWood would get round-trip airline tickets, transportation. But now I want to get into the document that Steve took a screenshot of. It is a petition for attendance of out-of-state witness. They were filed for Colleen, Caleb, and DeWood, with the main crux of the filings being the same, but there's some slight differences that we'll get into. But this is the real details about the case that we want to get into. Quote, it is alleged in this case that the target may be involved in the death of 14-year-old victim Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who may have been a victim of foul play. Her severely decomposed, dismembered body, there was a mixed reporting on whether it was dismembered body, was found in the front trunk of Target's Tesla on September 8th, 2025.
Now listen, like I said, it's no way possible. You're going to convince me that this guy didn't know that girl was in his goddamn trunk of the Tesla, bro. There's no way in heck. You see what I'm saying? It's no way. All right? Shoot. I know what's on the floor in my kitchen. You see what I'm saying? I can spot something on the floor in my kitchen. Like, oh, let me pick that up. You telling me, buddy, you ain't even... Well, his car got impounded. That's another thing. Who lets their Tesla get impounded? For no reason at all. Like, it's not like he had traffic tickets and all like that. I think Buddy just left it on the street or something like that and they got told. Like, who doesn't come back for a Tesla? Like, you know what I'm saying? So... Like I said, Buddy's guilty. Well, you know what? Let me clean that up. I believe Buddy is guilty. You get what I'm saying? And hopefully Celeste's family get the justice that they deserve. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, everybody deserves justice and nobody deserves to have their kid, cousin, sister, niece, granddaughter, whatever. Nobody deserves to have them brutally killed and mutilated like that. So, you know what I'm saying? Prayers up for the family. But hey, listen, that's a wrap for this video right here. We're pumping them out. We're going to keep it coming. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's get it, man. Until next time.